This is a very important question for Alex, and it's a lot of responsibility, Alex. So you better drink the Dr. Pepper. In the Starbucks mug. So, all right, we're looking at the outsourcing industry today. I want your perspectives, right, from a thousand level view here, 1,000-foot view. How are you going to assess the current state of the mRNA, RNA, LNP outsourcing sector? How have we seen it growing, right, in terms of capabilities, technological advancements, analytical advancements, all of that? Where are we starting here?
Well, great question. Thanks for having me. I think, still growing, right? Ever growing. But I think what we've kind of seen also is a settling down of people into their companies, into their lanes of what they're actually doing. Because for the longest time there, everybody was a one-stop shop. They could, they could make they would say that, at least through marketing, and you try to understand, or sometimes you'd go to a CDMO with a project and they'd say, well, what do you want us to do? We'll do it. That type of a thing. It's interesting, right? So we set up this industry in response to COVID, really primarily. Prior to that, it was a lot of rare disease stuff. Now we got the rare disease stuff coming back, and people are also going for vaccines. But normally, without Operation Warp Speed, that's going to take a long time. And there's different things like that. So, again, you've got innovators like my two fellow panelists. Their companies are leading the charge. First, there was the mRNA vaccines. Well, actually, siRNA with Onpattro, and then there was the mRNA vaccines, and now they've got self-replicating saRNA. So then you actually have to say, okay, as a CDMO, what am I good at? Where do I want to focus? What is a real CDMO? Like, are we overclaiming what we do? Are we really just a CDMO? Are we a testing, group? And then so getting in to know what that really is, and what there's room for everybody, but if you got less than 20 people on your team, you're probably not doing GMP manufacturing. You know what I mean? You don't have enough checks and balances.
I disagree.
Love it. We're off to a good start. Andy, disagree.
Yeah. So Anna, we are your poster child, a replicant for this CDMO outsourcing. So we are a 19-person biotech based in San Diego.
Well,
we launched
you're not the CDMO though, right?
The CDMO.
But we do GMP through outsourcing. So we chose strategically.
I see.
Yeah, we chose strategically.
I meant biopharmas can be small, biotechs can be small, but the CDMOs themselves, you probably have to have a few. Yeah, you have to have more people there to have the GMP checks and balances. That's all.
I agree with Alex's point. You can do all the development, you can bring the product into commercial, such as Outsource, but we don't have CGMP manufacturing. There's a reason you have to put evaluation, risk, mitigation, because GMP setup is not cheap.
Yeah.
Maintain a GMP is not cheap. So you really have to calculate, does it make sense to have GMP in-house? Of course, I want everything in my own control. That's the reason we want to have our own GMP. But I need to know how much I'll pay each month almost.
Yeah. So I think, Alex, you were kind of referencing there's a wide variety of CDMOs out there trying to figure out what lane they fit in, right? And one of the comments that I've heard throughout is that there are a number of sort of smaller CDMOs out there these days, right? That sort of are trying to specialize or working in mRNA. Compared to some of the larger CDMOs. Are you seeing that sort of trend as well? There are a number of smaller CDMOs sort of on the market today that are small, like 20 people or less, or are they a little bigger than that?
I think those are the CDOs. I think those are people that honestly exist to, they wouldn't mind me saying Phosphorex, for example. They don't have GMP manufacturing, but they will do a lot of development work, and then they'll partner with whoever is going to hand it off at GMP. It's, again, a lot of, Arcturus, and Replicate, they've got strong internal development teams. What if it's a man in a molecule? You may need to immediately outsource that if you're just, even smaller company. So it's, again, you just keep adding in these different types of technologies, and it does require, it's not going to get all done in one location. As she had previously said, it would be great to have everything under one roof and under your control, but everything from the plasmid DNA to what else is going in there, right? Is it one API? Are we throwing a guide RNA in there with CRISPR, or throwing that mRNA? The siRNA stuff requires lyophilization. You want that stuff now where that was like, maybe we'll do that for LNP drug product as an afterthought to maybe if it needs to be shelf stable, but now it's for function. Okay. So it's a lot of different things. I mean, and that's expensive. Lyo and aseptic fill finish, that's a really expensive part of that whole process.